Oh, fat. Well, I didn't even notice you were here.
Oh my God.
That's who we love and that's who we serve.
What a day. We want everybody to come on in, come on in. If you joined us just now, come on into the room and let us know where you're coming from. Just don't be a watcher, be a participator, because we love participation. So come on in, come on in.
How dare you?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, top of the time zone. Welcome to the Intervision FM universe. My name is Alan C., otherwise known as Alan Colvin. Got Johnny J in the house, president and station manager of Intervision FM. Don't forget to check out our webpage at www.intervisionrecords.org. That's www.intervisionrecords.org. You're not going to want to miss today's podcast. We're going to talk about some of the top places to live in Denver.
That's really, we're going to tell you some of the concert venues and just some of the other things that are fun to do in Denver. If you can get past Michael B. Hancock's Homeless People, there's quite a few things to do here in Colorado.
How dare you?
Yeah, right.
Hi, everybody. This is the Godfather Soul James Brown. I tell you, this business is on. My man is on. Check him out. This is the Godfather Soul James Brown saying stay with it and hit it. Okay.
Love the Soul Center of the Universe.
Hey.
You know, we have the bridge called the Soul Center of the Universe, and that's, I think, somewhere in Boulder, if I'm not mistaken. Interesting. But thank you, James Brown, for the introduction.
Yes, man. I was just curious, like, I know that Mayor B. Hancock has been putting in this propaganda on about how beautiful Colorado and Denver. I mean, it is beautiful.
Yes.
But but you have to like in San Francisco, you have to step over the human leftovers, and you sometimes you got to breathe in the bodily functions of people in downtown Denver, and sometimes you might get an audio of someone screaming or talking to themselves. But Mayor Hancock will lie to you and say that it's still beautiful. Come on downtown, let yourself be molested by our unhoused population and love it. Oh man.
Happy Wednesday, Johnny. How in the wide world of sports are you?
Oh man, hey, this is next week, for the next couple of months, I guess we're going to be trying at 5:00 Mountain Time and see how that goes, because I realized there were some people that came in on our shows and they were at work, so they have to talk in between working and stuff like that. So we don't want you to get in trouble. So we want to see how it goes at 5:00, and then it'll be a different time in Eastern places, or other time zones. So we're going to try 5:00 next week. Let us know how you like it, and all that kind of stuff.
That's 5 p.m. That's 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And folks, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn the notifications bell to all if you're watching us on YouTube. There are other ways for notification on some of the other platforms like Facebook, through Social, Getter, Rumble, LinkedIn, and some other platforms we broadcast on.
Yeah.
So where do you want to start, Johnny? Are we going to talk a little bit about some of these places here in Denver that are just some really good venues to live in and
How about this?
enjoy?
Some places, good places to live.
Okay.
Let me take out the screens sharing. Let me take that off. Let's see. Okay. I stopped that screen sharing. Okay. Now, one of the places. Okay. Cherry Creek.
Now,
Now
Cherry
they say, yeah. They said that that's a fantastic place to live. Very expensive too.
Oh man,
I think the houses are like close, like $3 million, maybe $1 million and up.
it's actually pretty hilarious because Cherry Creek, back in the early part of the 21st century, some of these houses and things they were going for. Ooh, they might have been going for 100,000 or a couple of 100,000, say 20 years ago. It's just amazing to see some of these places selling their homes for $2 to $3 million now. Boy, I wish I would have invested into some real estate in Cherry Creek. There are two types of places in Cherry Creek. There's the poorer version, and then there's the hoity-toity rich version.
Hmm. And like the better school system. And I don't know if that's still today because of how the liberals have really tried to wreck education here in this blue state. So it might not be the best schools right now, as because I was having a little bit of argument with AI yesterday, and so this information might not reflect what's really going on. It may be what they wrote on their website,
Right.
and not really reflecting if you really live here and you know what it was and what it is now, since the liberals have taken over here. So but Cherokee, the school system, they say at least on the website that it's one of the best. And then Capitol Hill.
Wow, that's
So
amazing.
they say that because of historical buildings and the diverse community and its proximity to downtown Denver. Yeah, okay.
I could see that. I guess I could see that. I do know that for the last 30 odd years, Capitol Hill has been good and bad. There are a lot of folks that live there, even still, that boy, they enjoy that area simply because it is right close to downtown. It is right close to some of the municipal buildings and this kind of thing, so that it can get to the courthouses. A lot of attorneys live in that area. It's an amazing place. It is. It is definitely historical.
Now, this is a little Chinese food place. A little bit too salty for me. I mean, I like the bistro, like closer to me, that they really pay attention that we're not over salting the food. But then there was a Greek restaurant. Have you ever had a shish kebab?
Oh yeah, plenty.
Oh man, fantastic food. I used to date this lady. It was so much food, we would just share the plate. Because it was like just an army of food. And it's like a little Greek restaurant on Grant and Colfax, and little family owned, very nice place. And so if you have a chance, and then I used to work at this, and it's no longer. It was a Creole food. I wish they would bring something like that back.
Creole, really awesome. I love some good Creole cooking.
Oh yes. But I diverse. I'm looking at neighborhoods. Now the next neighborhood is Lodu.
Now, Lodo, that's an interesting thing because it was a project taken on originally to kind of clean up the Colfax area and to clean up that whole area of Denver in such a way as to make it more palatable for young people, college age individuals, individuals in their mid 20s, early 30s that are wanting to start a family. And affordable housing started going into Lodo, as well as businesses and all kinds of stuff. Even an art museum of some sort, if I remember correct. It's a big triangular building.
And the baseball stadium is over there.
Yep.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger, he bought this property. I kind of think, like, was it in the early 80s that he bought property there? And it, like I said, it was Skid Row, and then it just almost like step by step, it just changed into this like foodie kind of like parts neighborhood where like people came from the suburbs to come down there and enjoy great jazz and rodeo music. And then it was a techno thing, and then it was a place down there called the not the Anthem. It was a music center hall, really big. And then it was a place, and I can't remember the name of it, that it was a disco place, and they got busted really bad for, like, doing illicit things on the property. But that was on Blake Street. But it has a colorful, I used to love to walk from there like 1:30 in the morning, which I don't know if I'll do that today, but back in the day, I would, and when the clubs closed, I would love walking home, just hearing the silence of the streets at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I used to get off at around midnight from this telemarketing job that I was working downtown. And on any given night when I would get off, there would be the young folks, the hippies, the individuals playing their drums and just having a good old time. And
oh yeah,
around about 1 or 2 o'clock would be right when when the bars would be, letting out and that kind of thing. But you're absolutely right. After 2 p.m. or I'm sorry, after 2 a.m., it got really quiet. There was nothing better than walking around back in those days, even 10 years ago.
Oh yeah.
So it's interesting to see the changes that have been wrought just over the last, just over the last 2 or 3 years. I remember the first homeless camp that I ran into while downtown. And for a blind person, as you're walking down the street, of course, you can't see the homeless camp coming up. And so once you walk into it, you run into a few, a few boxes, a few people, and hey, you can't go this way. So why not? Well, you don't belong here. Well, what do you mean I don't belong here? I'm just traveling through, and you've got to go around because this is our camp. This is where we live. And so, obviously I want to respect that and walk around it, maybe. I don't know.
There's a city, I don't remember the name of it, but they're trying to pass a law in the city. I don't know if it's Oregon or something like that, where they said they're going to put these campings there. And it's like, if you are a homeowner and you bother these people, they can sue you for up to $1,000 for bothering their encampment in front of your house.
That is amazing. So they set up a camp in front of your house. You kind of just got to let it ride, huh?
Yeah, or if you got a few $1,000s you want to spend, like saying, hey, get can you move your camp a little bit further from my front door of my house? And maybe it might become like like those camper homes where people say, well, can we hook our trailer park to your hose so we can get like water? And we say, I'm paying the water bill, but you want to use it for free? It's like, oh man. So okay. And then what's number 5? Highland Park.
Now Highlands Park, there's a lot of cool stuff there. I got big, huge houses, 3-story houses, 4-story houses, really posh neighborhood. I remember back in the early 90s, I was playing in some bands where some of the kids, mothers and fathers lived in these big, huge houses. And boy, it was interesting to see, coming from a trailer park or coming from my demographic, which was somewhat poorer folks, and to be playing in these bands with these rich kids It was quite a lot of fun.
That's wild. Yeah, so the Highlands Park area, and it has a strong sense of human community with restaurants and let's see what else. Oh, okay. So it's a home to many local businesses and restaurants. So I mean, Denver. You know what? One time I was doing a mailing, and I just did it like 80204, and there were like over 1,000 restaurants. I couldn't believe. I said, man, it's like there's not a lack of money here in Colorado where people have 1,000 places where people can actually go eat.
Wow.
And that was like 2005.
See, I'd be interested to see how many of those small businesses or even these medium-sized businesses or chains, how many of them still exist since Charlie's 19th birthday and all that neat stuff happened. You know what I'm talking about there, folks. You know, the vacation packages, what we had to deal with over the last couple of years.
Now, number 6 is the Washington Park area, which it has like beautiful parks and little lakes and what else? A residential place. And it's popular for families for schools and atmosphere. Now, I was listening to this talk show, right? And this guy says, like, he was walking out his door with his daughter, and he said this guy had his pants down on his ankles, was peeing, and he says, my daughter shouldn't have to see some homeless guy relieving himself in my neighborhood. So once again, what's on the website, ladies and gentlemen, may not be the reality once you get to the Pacific part. And we thank Michael B. Hancock and Mike and Polis, Governor Polis, for that atmosphere, and all the other Democrats in the legislature that they love destroying states and cities. So,
you know, there is a positive that did come out of this. I guess a number of months ago, a bill had been introduced to set up safe injection sites for certain things. Now that did get shot down, thank God. But, you know, it is interesting to look at that. And why do they want to decriminalize such horrible things, such as fentanyl, such as heroin, such as meth? I mean, that stuff is poison.
Yeah. And this is the second time that was defeated.
Wow. So you're saying,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember you know, there was a lot of pastors and a lot of like conservative people that you know ran over it and said, no, this is not happening. Arthur Waiafa, who said, I would love to have one of these in my neighborhood. And then when he found out what it was, more about it, then he sort of like he shut up. So yeah, Hiawatha, I think that was the guy's name, but I don't know if he's a part of the Democratic Party anymore. I think he might have retired, or he didn't lose. He lost the weight to a more progressive liberal. So yeah. Now let's day trips. Let's talk about day trips.
Okay.
Oh, I wish I'm gonna have to, me and my wife are gonna have to go on some of these because I know there's things around us, but you don't really think about it until you see some of the suggestions. So Denver's surrounded by natural, beautiful scenery and stuff like that. And if you can see, you probably see that kind of stuff, right?
Right.
So here are some of these popular day trips that you could take. Rocky Mountain National Park. Yeah, so you could visit the nature there.
Okay.
Have you ever been there? Rocky Mountain National Park?
I've been all over the beautiful state of Colorado. Rocky Mountain National Park is very peaceful, and it's really awesome to go into if you've got, what do they call those things? It's one of those cards where you can get a state pass that'll get you into all the state parks. It's like Golden Access Pass or something like that. I just don't. remember.
I got to tell you. Okay, now if you're registering your car,
Mhm.
our lovely Polis decided that he's going to slip one in on you to generate revenue. So it's an extra $29 charge, whether you want to go to the park or not, and you have to opt out of it. They will not tell you that this extra $29 is because you have just registered to be able to go to any park that you want, whether you want to or not. And whatever is not used, it'll just go to the cronies of Polis and Michael B. Hancock.
Well, they got to recoup that $7 trillion that's been basically passed over the last couple of years in the form of the Inflation Reduction Act. It's interesting because, we have these banking collapses going on. We've got the Fed looking to raise the interest rate yet again for another time, another 25 basis points. So, I'm here to tell you they're going to look for any revenue they can get.
Yes, yes. Okay, now, this other one is number 2 is Mount Evans.
Love Mount.
Isn't that where the big statue with the guy Evans is there or something like that?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. So there's a big statue, and they're now debating that they should take down Mount Evans because he wasn't a too good of a guy, but he's part of the history, good or bad. Why should we try to cover up the bad just so we can live this fantasy life and say it was all good? So yeah.
Evans is located near Greeley, Colorado. It's a very beautiful portion of Colorado. And you're absolutely right, Johnny. I think that good or bad, we ought to keep our statues up and our monuments and this kind of thing. Teach our children our history, whether it be positive or negative, or even both.
Yeah. Now, the next one is Colorado Springs, which is near Pikes Peak.
Yeah.
Wow. It's a hiking, biking, and just camping out.
There's hiking, there's biking, there's camping, there's all kinds of stuff you can do in Colorado Springs. There's Manitou Springs, which is about a 20-minute drive from Colorado Springs. If I remember correctly, they still have old-time cable cars that go up to the top and can catch a really good scenic view, from what I understand, of the surrounding outlying cities.
Yes. Now, and then the next one is Boulder. It's a college town. I love that town. Me and my wife, we go up there when they have the little festivals, or they have the Saturday what is it called? Where they sell plant food, not food, from the farmers market.
Farmers market, right?
Yes, very nice place. We like going up there. Sometimes we go up and down the mall, the Pearl Street Mall, and sometimes along the little creek that they have out over there as well. So that's another good place to go.
Boulder is also really well known for some concerts and that type of thing during the summer. They host different festivals, and right around Halloween, the Pearl Street Mall turns into what they have dubbed as the help me out here. I think it's the zombie crawl or something like that.
Oh, the mall crawl.
The mall crawl, where you just
yeah.
zombies and get all freaked out, and it's a lot of fun if you go in for that sort of thing.
Now they had a little one on First and Broadway, but I don't know if that's as interesting as it would be up in Boulder. So we may have to, God willing, we may have to try the one in Boulder to see if it's more interesting than the one off of First and Broadway, because we did.
I'm fairly mobile. Why don't I hit one of those? You hit the other one.
Oh yeah.
Stream for both sides.
Yeah, and then we could do a live stream, and we can just bounce back and forth.
That's right.
Yeah, that'll work. Now,
don't forget to like, subscribe, hit your notifications bell, set that thing to all so that you know when next we go live. Yeah. We're brought to you by Christian Brothers Moving Company. We're also brought to you by Eeny Meeny Grants and Denver Arts Venues. Yeah. If you want to become a sponsor, hit us up at info@intervisionfm.com. That's our email address. And you also get a way in on the inside via our newsletter, you'll be able to stay updated on any new topics that we have or any concerts, promotions, this kind of thing, because we do promote grassroots musicians, whether they're physically disabled or financially challenged or both.
Also, when you hit the notification, like 4 people were notified. That was the second thing, how people found us yesterday. So if you're one of those people that you've hit like all, put your name down in the subject line, either on the YouTube or the Facebook or the LinkedIn, and send us an email at info@innervisionfm.com. That's info@innervisionfm.com. And since there's 4 people, we might send you a free t-shirt, but you have to give us your size, and if you want either black or purple or white, or if you want a hoodie, we may have to do a little donation if you want a hoodie, but if you want a regular t-shirt, we just might send that to you. But we want to know who you are, and that's something that we'll give back to you. If you let us know that you're one of those ones that hit the bell, and you get notified for all the whenever we come on. So,
Now,
yeah.
because we do promote grassroots musicians that are physically disabled or financially challenged, we do need help. We do need help from you to keep the lights on. Best way you can do that is hitting up paypal.me/InnervisionDenver. That's paypal.me/InnervisionDenver. And any donation is very gratefully accepted. And we want to make sure that we're transparent with our mission statement. So www.innervisionrecords.org. That's www.innervisionrecords.org will give you access to the events page, kind of what's going on, and what we're all about here.
Yeah. Now, this next one is Estes Park. And I was up there one time. I was with this camp. It was a 7 Adventist camp.
Mhm.
And supposedly when I first started going there when I was 16, they were vegetarian. I mean, they showed like all kinds of ways they could cook vegetarian pizza.
Oh, yeah.
This time they got kind of like lax.
Oh, really?
And this guy, I don't know, if you remember, it was named Fred Herrera.
I remember.
And it was me and this other guy named Joe Sims. And
I remember
Fred,
Joe.
yeah, Fred I think he was trying to stuff us like a turkey, man, because he every kind of meat and everything. Like he said, hey, try this, try that. And then me and Joe said, we had to step back. We're going to have to miss a lunch and only have breakfast and dinner because we were, because it was just a buffet. It was at the YMCA up there. We did horseback riding and all that good stuff. And me and Joe, we were older guys. So I think we were like maybe early 40s or something like that. Something
Wow.
like that. And we said we just gotta back off because Fred would just say, eat this, eat that. And I said, sure, put it on my plate. Sure, put it. So we had oh man. So, but if you ever go to YMCA up there, it's fantastic. They have rooms that you can stay up there, and they have little quaint little shopping places that you can go shop and just see some just beautiful nature in Estes Park.
Yeah, there's lots of beautiful scenery up there. There's a bunch of folks that carve different things and sell them through some of the shops up there in Estes Park. It's a really good place to vacation, whether it be summer or wintertime, as a matter of fact.
Now, this next one, Golden. Now, me and my wife, we go up there, and they're close to. They have Coors Brewery, which we've gone after them for some grant funding, and they're kind of funny. But anyway, but so Golden downtown, they have this place. It's a pizza place, if you like, and they cook the pizza in this clay oven.
Yeah.
Yes.
Name of the place, but boy, is that place good.
Oh yeah. So and then they have this like little place where they have these like metal statues and stuff like that. And this is the one thing weird happened one time. So I'm sitting on this. It was maybe like a steel statue of a dog, and this guy comes up to me and says, "How old are you?" And I said, "Well, I don't know, 43." But I don't. No. I think I was like 53 or something like that. And then he says, well, that's not very respectful to sit on this metal animal. And I'm thinking like, Who are you? I mean, are you the landlord of these little metal statues? And believe me, if so, I was just dusting it off. If anything, I was like, but it was just the weirdest thing that this guy thought that he had to come and tell this 53-year-old man, and he was probably like 30. He was, is it Karen? What's the opposite of Karen's?
Oh, I don't remember the male.
Carl, I think, is it Carl?
Carl? Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like he was married to Karen and it was Carl. And I'm thinking like, it was just the weirdest thing, but that's the most weirdest thing that's ever happened. But it's a beautiful place. It has like this, people go rafting in this little like river-like thing. And I think they have like a sports field where sometimes the high school and the university, they go and they play in that field. But that's another, we haven't been up there in so long. This is some things that I'm making me excited. We got to go do some of these things because we haven't been to Golden in I think 3-4 years maybe.
I remember I owned a townhouse in Golden shortly before 2010, I would guess. And it was a nice place to be. It was definitely not quiet or peaceful, but it was definitely a nice place to be. I mean, everybody was very friendly and very kind. But that was it was almost 15 years ago, I guess now.
Yes. And now we have this one part about we talked about the music scene, the Christian contemporary music, but it's like, the Gothic theater. Let's see. The Jimi Hendrix has been here before. The Beatles, of course, in the Red Rocks. The top music scenes are Red Rocks, Amphitheater, of course, right?
Def Leppard made a video from Red Rocks that really took everybody by storm in the late, early 1990s, directly after the drummer had lost his arm and decided that they still wanted to tour. And he was one of the first drummers really to go fully electronic with his drum set. So it was amazing to see Def Leppard at Red Rocks, as well as even Metallica. I saw an Injustice for All tour there, and it was awesome. I remember one time the statue of the Lady Liberty, they had an effigy of the Lady Liberty statue for the Injustice for All tour, and they made the lady's head explode. And
wow.
The lady's head exploded. There was a huge peal of thunder and a crack of lightning, and everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, God's getting into the middle of this one." It was insane.
Oh man. Wow.
Too much.
Yeah. Now next is the Bluebird Theater, located in off of East Colfax. I think near like Downing or
Colfax.
Yeah, a little bit further down. Yeah. So
Yeah.
the Bluebird Theater, I mean, it's a very it's in the heart of Colfax, and a lot of the Voodoo Donuts are there. If you like donuts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you might check out that too.
Just down there, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe not. You
Yeah.
remember?
No, this is a very intimate setting.
Mhm.
Oh, and then how about this one? I used to work at this place called Gold Nugget right across from the Fillmore Auditorium.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah. And I saw George Clinton there. And it's a venue where they have some seats if you want to be on the closer to the stage, but otherwise it's like standing room only, and you're looking at the stage over like this little balcony type of thing, and very, very, very nice acoustics and nice place.
Well, I like it as a musician because I've played the Bluebird before, and it's a lot of fun to play because of the intimate situation. The atmosphere is really cool. I mean, you can literally finish your set, get off the stage, run down, talk to people, and even if you've got a wireless on your guitar, you can, jump off the stage, play in the crowd, have a good old time. I mean, it's a lot of fun.
And at the Fillmore, some of the history is the Rolling Stones played there when they first started, and Jimi Hendrix. So I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Okay. All right. So that's it off of Colfax and Clarkson. I think it's like 16th and Clarkson right there. So wow. Okay. So what's the next one? And that was it. So we covered some things to do in Colorado. I don't know if you should go from that website or if you should just check it out for yourself. It's Denver has changed a little, but you know it's still a beautiful place, and hopefully we'll turn it back around where it could be not only a beautiful place but a safe place for families to come and enjoy the some of the things that we have out here in Colorado.
Well,
Right?
this is only going to happen, Johnny, if we get involved at the local, state, and federal level to peaceably inform our government that we would like to see some changes happen. The unfortunate thing is there is a 30% voter turnout rate. So we do need to get that up a little bit, folks. So, you know, voting is the first line of defense. Getting involved at the local, state, and federal levels in whatever capacity you can is of paramount importance, so that you can affect your future, our future.
Yes. And if you haven't had a chance, go see 2000 Mules, and that'll give you some insight of what's been happening, and maybe we can learn how to voter harvest and do all those things just as good as the liberal agenda that's presently taken over with Janet Griswold, trying to make sure that they stay in power. But you know, we can change that, ladies and gentlemen, because if enough of us vote, we can you know, stop a lot of the rigness that's going on in our country, and probably it's been going on for a long time. We just now more noticeable.
God's on
So-
the throne, folks. Never quit, never yield, never give up, never give in, never, ever surrender unless that surrender be made to God.
Okay, and don't forget a free T-shirt for the if you hit all the notification button, if you're one of those 4 or you're more, you know, send us a info at innovationfm.com. That's info at innovationfm.com, and let us know your size, what color, and we'll send you the link, and or you can be one of the lucky winners. So we'll see you next week at our new time, 5 p.m. And Tuesday we're gonna have Jimmy Lee Tillman, and he's gonna be talking about these guys wanting to play with the girls and pretend like they're girls so they can play with the girls. So we're going to be talking about that and how we can push back on I think it's House Bill 9, but I'll send you information on that.
That's
So-
going to be spicy meatball, folks. You're not going to want to miss Tuesday, as well
All right.
as any other podcast on
All
the
right.
Internet universe. God bless.